Alright, here's a video on how to disassemble the steering column module for an E90 or E70. So I'm just undoing these little clips. Okay, there's the clock spring. The clock spring cannot turn as long as this little button is out. In order to manually turn the clock spring, you would have to push this button and then turn it. You obviously don't want to do that if you know that the clock spring is already centered. If you think that it may be uncentered, you can recenter it by just basically get it in a position where you have the starting position, say right here at the bottom, and to verify that it's centered, I would push the button and go 1, 2. Okay, so it only goes a little bit more and then I feel resistance, so it goes a little past 2. So I'm going to go back 1, 2. So now I'm back where I started. Now I'm going to go the other direction. 1, 2, and a little more, about 2.5. So I'll go back here and then I'll go back my 2 turns. 1, 2. So I know, and then just make sure it clicks into place so it doesn't move anymore. So now I know I've centered it. It can go 2.5 rotations to the left or roughly 2.25 rotations to the right. So that's centered. Now the rest of the unit is right here. This is the angle sensor. This little piece has to align with that arrow when you install the clock spring on there. There's a little long tab that stabs into this opening right here. Now this can spin freely without hurting anything. It's just a disc inside there that tells the sensor what angle it's at. So as long as you have that hole aligned with the arrow, you're fine. Okay, so now we're going to open up this. We're going to open up the top of the module, and I've got a little screwdriver I'm going to use. Just undo the little click tabs. There's about 6 of them, I think. Okay. Alright, and then just once all the tabs are, oh, this one's not unclicked all the way. There we go. Once all the tabs are unclicked, this will just lift right off. Okay, we'll set that aside. So this is your angle sensor ring that can spin freely. It will not hurt anything for it to spin. You want to try to keep that surface clean. Don't touch it, don't get any dirt on it or anything like that. Now before we can take this ring out to get to the back of the board, we have to remove this little plastic sensor arm. And this is going to be, according to my bit set, this is a T6. Looks like this is a T6. So I'll remove these 2. And just, again, just be careful. You are dealing with some sensor parts. It's all robust stuff. This is actually just a light guide. There's a little sensor laser, but this is just a light guide. So again, you know, just don't get it dirty. We'll just set that aside. Now the sensor ring comes out pretty easily, but there's these little tabs at the back. So Just kind of protect the sensor with your hand on the back so that it doesn't pop out and hit the table. And then essentially on the back you can just kind of go around and pinch some of these little tabs and it will detach quite easily. Okay, so there's the ring. The bottom has the longer tabs. That's what snaps in. Okay, we'll set that aside. So now we're to the board. Alright, so what you can do now is you can actually, there's 3 additional screws holding the board down. So 1, 2, and 3. I'll just remove those 3 screws. And those screws are the same length as the screws that hold the little sensor light guide in place. So you don't need to worry about mixing up the screws. They're all of these screws are the same length. Okay, so now I can very carefully begin to lift up the board. And it might feel slightly snug at first. It has a little plastic guide pin that kind of holds it in place. Just gently just wiggle it up. There we go. Alright, cool. So we've got the board loose. We're not going to do anything else with that yet. Next is to remove the cruise control stalk. So let me adjust my phone here a little bit. The cruise control stalk screw is slightly bigger. It is a T8. Okay, so I'm switching to a T8. Alright. Now, once that is loose, there are a couple of little clips that hold this. Let me move my other parts out of the way. There's a couple clips that hold this in place. They are, there's one, and there is 2. Okay, this unit slides out in that direction. So it slides, basically if this were on the car, for example, it slides that way. Okay, so all you're going to do is just use a little screwdriver or a trim tool or your finger if you have small fingers and unclip these plastic clips. And I believe there's a couple clips on the back side of it as well, so we're gonna have to, okay, yeah, there's another clip on the back side. So back here, it's kind of right in here. It is so hard to see. I apologize for the poor lighting. Essentially, so see how this right here is, this is the back of the cruise control stalk. So it's kind of its own separate module that just slides into this housing. So our goal here is to just remove this from the housing. There's a little clip kind of down inside here, which is what I'm trying to loosen right now. It does not take much But once that's kind of loosened, then it's just a matter of kind of going back and forth between the back and these two little plastic clips on the front. But keep in mind, it will not slide out until you undo that one screw from the front. This cruise control stock should be the only stock module on here that has a screw in it. See how the turn signal does not have a screw, and the wiper stock does not have a screw. That's just because not all cars came with cruise control, and so essentially the whole body of this unit itself is identical whether you have cruise or not. And then when they add the cruise, I believe they just added a screw to hold it in place more securely. So anyway, that's the only one that has a screw. Let me pause the video real quick and finish removing this. It'll probably take a few minutes, and I need to kind of get it close to my face to see what I'm doing. Okay, I realized what I was doing wrong. So this little plastic cover has to come off first. It's very easy. There is one plastic clip right here. Undo that clip. So one side of this will start to lift up. There's a little plastic, a flat piece that kind of goes underneath there. Don't really worry about the design of it. It's just you have to kind of lift from this side and just wiggle it, and it will basically just pop right off. That's the little plastic piece I was talking about. It slides down under there before it snaps in. So this just covers those ribbon cables on the back. And now you can see kind of how this stock is held into place. But you can also see how the ribbon cables connect to the board. Okay, so the stock that we want to undo, I won't know for sure which one it is until I get this module out. So now that we have that loose, now that we have that little plastic cover loose, and honestly, you could leave the board in place. You do want to be careful putting the board back into its place. This applies to reinstallation as well. There's pins in there, so when you're putting the board back in, you just have to make sure the pins go in the holes. No big deal, but yeah, the board kind of holds itself in place. It has a little plastic tab right here that holds it. Okay, so now that that's in place, I'm going to work on getting the stock out, which should just be a little bit of very gentle prying. None of it requires any force. The stock is very snugly in there, so it's a little bit of wiggling, but no aggressive force to get it out of there. Okay, let's see. Alright, let me bring this close to my face again. Okay, once again, figured it out here. Okay, so on the back side of the cruise control stock, sorry, wrong stock, this one right here. On the back of the cruise control stock, there's this little plastic tab right here. This is what holds it in. So you just very carefully put a skinny screwdriver or a little trim tool or something, And it doesn't take much, but you can just kind of wedge something in there. So I just barely have that in there, just holding it out. And now, I say now, you kind of have to have additional fingers. You could also just kind of stick a toothpick in there or something to hold it in place. I'll just use a screwdriver bit. Okay. It doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. Really, the only trick is you have to kind of undo these two clips on the front while also having that back piece unclipped. So I've got the two front ones done. I'm kind of holding a little pressure against it. There we go. So I unclipped the back piece. If I give it a little wiggle, it is definitely snug. And it all snapped back in. Okay, let me try to balance this without the camera being in my way. Okay, got it. The key is toothpicks. So I held this open with a toothpick. I held this open with a toothpick just by kind of wedging it through there safely. Once all three are unclipped, it will come right out just like that. Okay, now, so now that it is out, we can follow the ribbon cable and we can see which one we need to unplug. Alright, you can't really unplug it from the back. It'd be nice if you could, just not even unscrew the board. But you can't really undo it from the back. So we'll go back to the front. We'll give the board a very gentle wiggle, no prying, nothing aggressive, just very gently lift straight up. Okay. And the correct one looks like, so that's the one that's moving. So in this video, it's the one on the right that we need to remove. Alright, so to remove it, I'm going to very gently pull a little bit more of the slack out here. I'm just going to reorient this so that we can see kind of the top of the board. I know it seems like I'm not being careful, but I am. You just want to be as gentle as you can be, but it's also somewhat robust. Okay, hard to get a good view on this. So there's a little plastic clip. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'll use the toothpick. So this little clip needs to go up like that, and then this ribbon cable will gently slide right out. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to very carefully use a small flathead screwdriver. Okay, see how that lifted straight up a little bit. Now, see how the ribbon just came right out? Easy peasy. If you're installing this instead of removing it, just make sure that the part of the ribbon that's black with the black insulation is like facing towards the rest of the board. The part with the actual metal contacts faces kind of out towards the outer edge of the board. Alright, so now that that is out, all I have to do, let me zoom back out, all I have to do is very gently feed the ribbon through the hole. Sorry, I'm out of view here. Oh, wait. This is why you verify before you disconnect, because you might disconnect the wrong one like I've done. That's okay. So we know that the one I want to reconnect is going to go on the right here. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the one that I actually wanted to disconnect. Okay, I'm going to very gently, without bending any pins or anything. Again, I'm just going to push up on the little plastic slider, just like that, just kind of left and right. It'll eventually kind of pop itself up, and then gently slide the ribbon cable out. So now I can very delicately feed this ribbon cable through the hole. Through the hole. Come on. Being stubborn. It can only go through a certain way, so. Okay, so it's going to be this one. It has like little wings on it that hold it in place. Once I have it there, just kind of give it a gentle little bit of a wiggle. There we go. Okay, the ribbon is out. It's perfectly safe. And now it will just very gently come out, just like that. Okay. Honestly, that's it. That's the hard part. Now I have to reconnect this plug, but hopefully you will not disconnect the wrong one, as I did. Remember, the contacts go out towards the edge of the board. Just kind of hold it in place and push down on that plastic tab. Very gently align the pins in this hole over here. Make sure the pins are going in their holes. Okay, looks great. Everything went back where it should go. Just kind of gently push the board back into place. Now at this point, that's pretty much it. It's just now it's just a matter of putting it back together, which again we'll just go in reverse order here. Make sure I've got all my slack out of this ribbon right here. Okay. So just put this part with the long plastic piece through there. Snap that down like that. Come back to the front side. Put in the 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. And these are the T6s. Sorry, the camera's not focusing. Just gently snug it down. It doesn't need to be 100 foot-pounds. Okay, got that snugged down. And next is your sensor disc. Just push and give it a little wiggle. It'll snap right into place. Perfect. And then we're going to take the little laser guide, and it goes right there. It has some little locating tabs so it'll kind of fall into place. And then just drop the screws in. Same bit, T6. And same thing, just gently snug, don't crank it down. Perfect. Alright, that's in place. Now your cover. Obviously, before you put the cover on, just maybe give it a quick blow with air just to make sure that you're not leaving any dust. Hopefully you did not touch the sensor wheel with your greasy fingers. Put the cover back on and just push. Snap into place. The wheel should spin freely. Now's a good time to go ahead and align the hole with the arrow. And that's it. This can remain how it is. That's fine. This is all protected inside the steering column, so nothing is going to touch that. This area right here will remain open. The cars that did not come with cruise control are exactly like this. Like this module looks exactly like this, to where this is just open. So that's that module. So now you have a module with no cruise control, and as long as this little thing is lined up with the arrow, then you can take your clock spring and snap it on there. Okay, that's lined up. Just verify that when you wiggle this inside part wiggles with it as well. And it does. So that's complete. Now we have deleted the cruise control stalk.